as we were putting the absolute finishing touches here on 2024, hanging in 25, I'm watching two ETFs, very specific, two hot ETFs that continue to pay those long those parts of the market. Now, I will say quickly before I show you those, as we head into 25, keep in mind we can get a lot of headlines. We might get some beginning of the year flows related to profit taking and taxes and stuff like that. So that could certainly be something that has to be taken into account when it comes to some nearer term gyrations and volatility in the broader market, including these two ETFs. Now let's move to them and see what they look like. Two themes, and quite frankly, rather unrelated. One of them is quantum computing. This is the QTUM ETF, which I would probably show you over here on this chart here. QTUM is the ticker symbol. And this is one that's relatively recently started performing in a very major way. And in large part due to algorithms basically picking up on the fact that quantum computing news headlines were becoming more prevalent. And so it continues to work. It's really in many ways a purely momentum-driven move. It continues to work on our market rover trending work. It continues to be looking favorable. If I look at this on a weekly chart, you can see the move. It's getting quite exhaustive. We're looking at, as I'm recording this here, something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks in a row of being up. Again, wouldn't necessarily chase it here, but I think the trend remains intact. So something we want to be watching. And then another one, and I'm not sure anyone's really watching this at all. This is essentially space-related stocks. We have this in our ETF Salo Pro portfolio, a mock portfolio at the moment. This is the weekly chart, and if you just look at the chart, you can kind of see the bullish behavior here. And this is backed up, of course, by news flow around space-related stuff, not the least of which being related to headlines around of things like, there's my timer, things like SpaceX and such. But this is one that's really interesting. It's arguably less overbought or less stretched near term than the quantum one. But the ticker symbol here is UFO. UFO aptly, I guess the ticker makes sense. If I were to look at this one here purely technically, again, it's acting very well. You can see it basically broke out of its base here. There were some headlines, and then there was more headlines recently. And if I were to just take a very simple sort of, that's the wrong thing, Fibonacci type of analysis, I could very quickly see that we might have upside here towards around 25 and change without breaking too much of a sweat. So as I'm recording this, that's another 5% or so higher from a pure trading perspective. Now again, ETFs is really where we think there's going to be so much opportunities coming year, because this coming year is going to be, I think, less about single name stocks and more about thematics, right? Thematics are parts of the market, be that industry, be that the different industries, be that different sectors, be it different asset classes, be it countries, right? And as I keep saying to our clients, when you think about the people that move markets, institutional investors, algos, they don't go out and say, I'm going to buy this one stock because I like it. They will buy the theme. So if they buy, quantum computing stocks, right? Or in this case, space stocks, they're not going to go buy one stock. They're going to buy a whole bunch of these stocks, because they don't want to take the single stock risk, right? That's a big thing I think retail investors will have to learn, at least over the past 10 years, that has been ignored. Number one. And number two, just the pure buying power they have, it's not going to be absorbable in just one stock. So ETFs are an incredible way to, we believe, to build a portfolio, to diversify a portfolio, to really grow wealth in a portfolio from a trading perspective and from an investing perspective.